So okay, so you got there to those guys in Tanzania, and you guys went on you followed them on like a baboon hunt, or were they targeting baboon, or were they just trying to go find anything they could get to feed the village?
They'll eat anything.
And these are like, and you didn't necessarily like stay in a village proper. These guys were more of like a nomad hunting tribe.
They have a main camp and they have hunting camps. So I've gone 3 times. The first time we went to the main camp, but generally we would stay in hunting camps, which would be a couple little straw shacks, kind of like a lean-to. You know what that is?
Yeah.
And then from there we'd go hunt. But baboon is their favorite. Baboon is the best meat.
That's bizarre.
And they love eating baboon ass.
I saw that.
That's their favorite cut.
He said we like the fat ass on the baboon.
Yeah. Because baboon asses are like huge, man. Badonkadonks, big pink fatty things. So
that's so wild, man. And then there's that guy who nailed a baboon from like 100 yards away in the pitch darkness with a bow and arrow.
Homemade bow and arrow. His name was Cha'aba.
Cha'aba. Yeah.
It was one of the most incredible feats of human strength and ability I have ever seen in my life.
I was like jumping up and down when that happened, when I was watching that.
I couldn't believe it, man. Yeah, they call it going to war with baboons, man, because baboons are very aggressive and they're smart and they've got huge teeth like a lion would, and they attack, right? And so you saw the video where the only way we could get them is we had to go raid their camp at night. So me and the boys snuck up in bare feet in the pitch dark with our arms in front of our eyes so the weighted bit acacias didn't hook our eyes out. And then we had to sneak up, gather rocks, and then at a certain moment, one of the guys had borrowed one of our flashlights, and we had to flick it on, and we had to make monkey sounds and throw rocks at the baboons on top of this Lion King rock, going, and they all ran around the other side where the hunting Hadza, the top guys, all just filled them full of arrows, man.
So they were on top of like this big sort of cliff type rock?
Like a bluff, like the thread of the Lion King, yeah.
Why do they hang out on those?
Because
in the middle of the night.
Because they can see their surroundings.
Are they nocturnal?
No, but they would want to be in a spot just like you'd put a castle on a cliff, right? Because they can see their surroundings. They can see if people are coming, and they would spend half the day there. That was probably their home, and they'd go out, forage, come back. But from there, they could see most predators, not the Hadza. They're a special breed.
We had a guy in here a couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago. Andrew Eucles. He's obsessed with hand catching animals, and I forget where he was. He was in some sort of some African country. I forget which one, but he hand caught a wild baboon.
Damn, no way.
He tried to catch a wild baboon. I think he failed.
And now he's only got one hand.
No, he's a psycho, man. He's upset. He's Australian, and he goes around the world trying to hand catch these animals. And I think he found some guys like, hey, can you help me catch a baboon? And this guy, he just wanted to make money, right? And he's like, oh, of course I know how to do this. And the guy caught a baboon, put it in a giant cage, and he just wanted to go in the cage with it and hand catch it. And the baboon was like so smart, it somehow moved its way to the entrance of the cage where the door was, and it blocked him in. So he couldn't get out, and it trapped him in there. And then he ended up like climbing across the ceiling while the other guy distracted the baboon so he could escape. Like that was a scary story.
The problem with the world now is we see monkeys eating bananas and riding a tricycle. Yeah. But if you see any kind of monkey in real life, they are not fun. They are scary, and they'll bite your face. They'll attack you. They'll grab your. Man, it's I avoid monkeys at all costs.
Yeah,
they're unpredictable, and they'll just bite your dick. Like they'll just tear your lips off. Like they don't give a f.
Yeah, dude. There's so many scary ass stories of monkeys attacking people. Yeah. There's videos of like monkeys stealing children on the streets.
Yeah,
it's
for
insane.
Sure. No way.
And then those guys, like another thing, how they caught that deer and the guy literally bit its throat to kill it. Like they don't use knives or anything like that. They just use their teeth.
Yeah, what I didn't show in the video because I have to. YouTube actually has been very generous with my content, because there is some stuff in there that is very real and graphic. But they're documentaries. So in a documentary setting, and I'm not trying to glorify violence or anything. I'm just trying to show how the world is.
Right.
But what you didn't see is they took a rock the size of a fist and just smashed that poor little thing's cranium 3-4 times, then bit the throat as it cried.
Oh, yeah, and they were biting its ear to try to get it to cry, to call its mother in.
Right, because it was a baby deer. You bite the ear, it goes... And then the mom comes back being like, what are you doing with my baby? And you shoot the mom. But the mom didn't come back, thank God. But that's their technique.
That's brutal, dude.
And the Hadza have, I don't know, like 7 different kinds of arrowheads.
Really? Yeah, I was shocked at how many different types of weapons they have, different types of arrows.
Yeah.
And
so for those ones, the ones that are made of metal, generally it's for the baboons, which have hooks on the side. So it's a big point, like a flat point with hooks, because you shoot a baboon and it can pull the arrow out because it's got hands. You shoot a deer and it can't do that. So those are generally wood. And they have, for birds, they put like a corn cob section on the end and they shoot the bird, so it's like a concussive force. It's honestly a little bit funny to just see a bird go poof and then it just falls.
Yeah, they'll catch anything, man. They were catching all kinds of rodents, climbing inside of trees, up the center of these giant hollowed out trees, with bees just crawling all over their bodies, stinging them, not even flinching.
In this one that I'll be posting soon, there was one of the most graphic scenes of them hunting, which was, there's this really cute animal, if you could pull it up, called a bush baby.
A bush baby.
It's like the cutest Pokemon on planet Earth, and I thought they were quite endangered.
Aw,
look at that! Look at that! The blue thing.
It's adorable.
And there was one day we went out and they got like 7. It was a genocide. And they shoot them with those concussive arrows because if you have the big blade, you just slice them open, but with the concussive, you knock them out. And they jump really well. You'll probably see it in a second.
Looks like what's it called? A lemur.
It's like a lemur. Yeah. Yep. So they're the cutest little things, big eyes, and they've got big long legs to jump with. And so I watch these guys shoot them with the arrow. It falls out. The poor thing's stunned. They grab it, hold it up, take their femurs with their bare hands, snap the femurs. So taking the leg, snapping the leg with a big crack, snapping the other leg with a big crack, and then taking the poor, I don't know who gave you this, but I'm not going to break it.
That's okay.
Taking the head and just crunching the skull until its eyes go. And then Socorro takes it and then tucks it in my belt.
In your belt.
Yeah. And then we keep going. And this is the kind of, I'm like, this is such a brutal thing, but it's how they do it. And I wish you could see, I wish you could be there, because you would just see how this is how they've done it forever. And I wouldn't say it's wrong. It's definitely not right either. But who am I to go in their kitchen, in their backyard, and get all my panties in a twist about things? Like,
right.
I wouldn't do it myself. I think participation's a big important part of travel, but there's a certain point where it's like, woof, a bit too much for me.